Hello, algoriters. It's Friday night, and you already know what the deal is. Friday night here at the Court of Public Opinion is ladies' night, and court is back in session. I'm Al Reynolds, and this is the Court of Public Opinion. I'll be serving as your judge, and guess what? You will be serving as the jury. The Court of Public Opinion is a place where you, the people, are heard and understood. Be sure to hit that like button if you have not. Hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, be sure to hit that share button. Do not forget to hit that alert button because remember, this week I'm going to be sharing, next week I'll be sharing some very important information that you don't want to miss. And also drop down in notification button. I'm sorry, not alert, notification button. And don't forget to drop down in our comments because we got a show for you tonight. I do want to apologize to all my viewers about moving the time around, but we are trying to accommodate my colleagues so that we all share the platform of YouTube at a convenient time for all our fans. Once again, I apologize, but it looks like our sweet spot is going to be right here at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, let's get the night started. Let me introduce my two legal beagles. We have our one and only attorney Simone Redwine is joining us tonight.
How
Welcome,
you doing?
Simone.
So good to see you. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
And we're coming back to Simone tonight, everybody, because we got some awesome news that Simone is going to share with us here in the Court of Public Opinion. But I've been waiting for this combination for a very long time. We have that zesty, that bulldog attorney, civil attorney, Shatan Turner is back. Welcome,
Hey,
Shatan.
Hey, Simone. Hey, algoriters.
Hey.
All right, let's make sure we got it. If you, for everybody that's joining us tonight, don't forget the fax machine emoji. Throw some fax machine emojis in that chat. For Attorney Redwine, don't forget to throw those red wines emojis in the chat. And for Shatan, don't forget Shatan does and only wants the fire emoji because she comes with the heat. And tonight, I can't wait to see what she's going to burn down in the Court of Public Opinion. All right, everybody. First up, we have P. Diddy. Yes, you heard me correctly. P. Diddy and Cassie are back in the Court of Public Opinion. And they're back in the Court of Public Opinion because we want to know what's going on with Diddy and his public relations because he has scrubbed his entire social media, his IG page of everything. He has scrubbed his Instagram page of everything, including his apology to Cassie. All right, now we all know things are heating up with that Homeland Security case and an investigation and the grand jury. Attorney Simone Redwine, what does this mean when you are in the middle of an inquiry from the grand jury, right? What does this mean that he has scrubbed his entire social media of everything, including his apology to Cassie?
Oh, baby, it means he's worried he's going to jail. You're going to jail today. You're going to jail. No, I really think it is. I believe that his criminal attorney likely said, you better pull all this down. Because what happens is the feds will use those dates and those things to decide who all do we want to investigate. For example, he recently did a Father's Day shout out and had various people that were in the photo. They could use that to see the day and the time and say, oh, well, let's ask these people about where they were in X, Y, and Z. I think he's trying to make the job of the feds more difficult, and I think he is terrified, sir.
All right, Attorney Shatan Turner, what are your thoughts on this?
I agree with Simone. This was strategic, and this was born out of fear. So what we've seen through this case is that Pete Diddy had a private persona and a public persona. They were in conflict, and his social media interaction was kind of a combination of it, right? Because it was curated, but it was also in real time. And he wasn't thinking as he was making those posts, at some point, I am going to be the subject of a federal investigation and they're going to be trying to put me in jail. And his team probably said, look, We don't know how this is going to reflect in context with the timeline that the federal agents are working on, and they're in the process of the grand jury trying to build the case. So just get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. We don't want to be bothered with trying to figure out what to do with it. And instead of cherry picking it, get rid of it all, burn it all down, and hopefully we can save you.
You know what, Attorney Turner, I think there might be some legs to what you're saying here. But ladies, let me pose this particular question right here. I think as the investigators, Homeland Security investigators, and federal investigators are starting to bring things forward, I think he's been told to take everything down, because as they start to report who is reporting to the grand jury in their testimony, he's taking it down so they cannot reference day and time of his post. Does that sound about right, Simone Redwine, if you
Absolutely.
understand the direction I'm going?
That's exactly what I was getting at. You said it. Yes, Your Honor.
Because it says, what it speaks to me is that now he's really concerned that people are now being called, because as we've shared here on this platform, and Attorney Redwine knows, we know somebody that has been requested and served to go to the grand jury in this case. He's got to be worried about if anything on his social media coincides. Let's say allegedly we know someone, even though that coincides with what might be posted on his social media. And as we know, as the federal investigators are putting and stacking this case, that social media could be as damaging, correct, Shaitan?
Yes.
As damaging as any statement that a witness can make.
Oh, absolutely. And even more so because they are purportedly his words. He may have had a team working on it, but if he said something that is consistent with a point they're trying to make, instead of having to interview him, they can just pull his words from the social media and use those words to impeach him. And so it's a problem.
All right. Well, this is getting hot about a minute, everybody. Come on, algorithm. Let's throw some red wines emojis in there. Let's put some of those fire emojis. Let's hit that like button. And don't forget to throw some more facts emojis, because we're bringing you the facts raw and uncut right here in the Court of Public Opinion. Now, next up is a story.
Your Honor, one thing. Somebody in the jury is pissing me off.
What happened?
Sweetie Pie 2 said these attorneys should know about the preservation of records. Let me tell you something. We do. But see, there's a difference between what legally somebody is supposed to do and what they try and get away with.
That's
so
right.
Yes, we know someone's supposed to preserve records, but also guess what? That applies to civil law, not criminal. Boo-boo. On the criminal side, he hasn't been indicted, so he ain't got to preserve ish.
Exactly. Spoliation of evidence does not apply here, as Simone is indicating, and people who got their JD from Google should not be engaging in challenges with actual lawyers. I'm just saying.
These days are fine.
Sorry, I've just been having a day.
Order in the court.
Having a year.
Order in the court.
Having a lifetime.
Not a JD in Google.
No, but we really appreciate y'all watching.
Yeah, stay tuned, Sweetie Pie. Stay tuned.
Y'all, okay. All right, order in my own court. All right, next up. Next up for the people with your JD in Google, baby. Next up. Woo! I can't take it. Doubling down with the Derricos have landed themselves in the Court of Public Opinion. And oh, how sad am I to see this family in the Court of Public Opinion after 19 years of marriage and 14 kids later. And in all honesty, 48 hours, they have had and gotten a complete divorce. Attorney Redwine, can you please lay out to me, because what a family this was. If anybody's ever watched this particular show, what an interesting show. What an interesting family. How sad after 19 years they have ended up in the Court of Public Opinion and 14 children later. And the saddest part, from what I understand, is the amount of child support she's getting for those 14 children. Attorney Redwine, please tell us what's going on and help us make it make sense.
So yes, this divorce was done in 48 hours, which meant at the point which she filed, she was sick of him. She was sick of this man. Okay. So many people say, oh, if I had been married that long, we just gonna have to work it out. Yeah, you could until you can't. In this
Right.
situation, boy, do I feel for the mother. Here's why. I did a little deep digging. You know, I like to come with the legal tea, the legality, right? Legal tea. Bless her heart, in the 19 years of marriage with the 14 kids, he was the head of the household. Now we all know I can relate to this. He was the head of the household who had poor leadership skills and even worse financial management skills. So he refused to get a job, right? And called himself being a real estate investor. Here's the problem. In this 19 years, this man had 6 foreclosures. Oh, 6 in Michigan and 1 in Nevada. This man has had 7 foreclosures in 19 years. Do you know how hard that is? Oh, plus they together as a couple had to file for bankruptcy 5 times. The
Wow.
most recent foreclosure was within 2 years of her filing for divorce. So when people say, oh, they should have worked it out, oh, baby, she tried. That is also probably part of why the child support is only $90 per child per month. Okay. $90 a month per kid for the 14 kids, which goes to about $11.99 or $1,200 a month. That's because he ain't got no money. What happens is that's literally like the minimum the state can order. And it's also likely because part of the way child support is calculated is based on visitation. They likely have 50-50, and then they make the same income from the show, right? They're going to get paid the same salary, husband and wife. And then he's probably just making a little bit more from his stupid real estate things that are clearly unsuccessful. And then in addition to him only having to pay, the $90 a month for kids, she's responsible for the health insurance, which more than likely means she's probably going to get Medicare, Medicaid, something like that.
Medicaid, yeah.
So it's sad. How is she
Attorney-
supposed to live off of that? Exactly.
Yeah.
If we see her on OnlyFans, don't y'all judge that lady.
Now, Attorney Turner, please help me here. You have 3 kids. This is a story that's very close to you. Help me understand, how is a mother of 14 to survive with $1,100 worth of child support? 14 kids. They eat that in a day or a week, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, the expenses far exceed what she was going to get. And so I imagine that she's either going to do some creative ways to make money, as Attorney Simone said, or she's going to have to get on public assistance because of the size of her family and the minuscule amount of child support that she got. The court standard is to determine what the best interest of the child is from the custody perspective, and then there's a formula to determine what the child support is, but you can't get blood from a turnip. There are some men whose only talent is actually procreation, and so clearly he was really good at laying down, but he wasn't very good at investing or putting down income to support this family.
Oh, the ladies are all fired.
We sick of
Y'all
this.
have got me red as a beet in my own courtroom. She said he was good.
Baby, because I'm so sick of these idiots. Tomorrow it is a 1-year anniversary of me calling off my wedding. Okay, and I had to call off my wedding because the person I was gonna get married to had these type of foolish leadership skills, i.e., non-existent. So what I always say is the one thing I learned, like his situation is we ended up not getting married because he spent our wedding fund on cars and dumb stuff. That was his industry. This man, his idiot industry is real estate. When you are with a man who can't even lead you in his own profession, that's the man that's going to take you into a ditch if you let him, and he has. So we have to be, as women, we have a responsibility. It's one thing when you don't know, but when you do know, you might not need to have 10 more kids.
Right. That's exactly.
Here's the thing, Simone. Can I interject one thing?
Please.
Here's what I could say from my own experience and from just people that I know, right? There is a love haze that comes with getting pregnant. And I don't know how long it lasts if you have 14 kids. So it probably lasts 19 years is what we found from the Derricos, right? And once she woke up and got out of the haze and realized that he was a poor leader, a poor provider, and he was likely trifling too. I'm reading through the lines. You're right. It only took her 48 hours to say, you know what? I am done. I am better off by myself with these $2 you're giving me to raise these children. I will figure it out, and I would rather be by myself than be with you.
Absolutely. Because when you are living in that level of chaos and instability, you can't, it impacts your entire body. You cranky with your kids. You want to beat kids for kids that didn't even done it all the way. You want to get a switch. I'm going to switch you. I don't even know what you did. It's probably something your daddy did. And not to mention, this man had the audacity to go and dye his black hair blonde. When you see a 52-year-old black man, he
thinks he's cute. Okay. That's also a problem. He thinks he's cute. He was probably out there in Vegas at the casino trying to
track. Order in the court, please. Ladies. I said it was ladies' night. I didn't mean ladies' empowerment night.
I'm sure she kicked him out after she found out that he had external dalliances. It happens often. I'm just saying. And then you are there with your kids and you're like, thank God for the peace.
I can't. Okay, absolutely. Hold on. Let's get back to the court. This is my question. And this is a very significant question. They still are in contract for this reality show, correct?
Yes. And we need to
so why wouldn't they garnish his wages from what he's making on the show? And ladies, let's be honest here. Those 14 kids should not be showing their face on television without a check. Each one of those kids should get a check.
Oh, Your Honor, that's an excellent point. You know what? They probably are. I'm sure that they are. As a child actress myself, I am sure that they are. And that actually might be part of why child support may have been set as low as it was. Okay. Perhaps they assigned the fact that each of the kids gets their own way. Your Honor, I'm so glad you brought that up. I talked about this previously and I didn't think about that. So it was that. And then, you talked about why aren't they garnishing his? He's 1099. You can't garnish a 1099.
Oh, that's right. Smart. That's right. And that's a smart way to enter into your contract.
And he's not in arrears. So even if he had a regular paycheck, he's not in arrears yet. So there wouldn't have to be trigger garnish.
All right, baby. We learning some stuff tonight. Dating and marriage 101 right here, and divorce 101 right here, and actually only here on the Court of Public Opinion. All right, let's keep it going. Whew. I don't know how much more of this I can take of you two. All right. I do not, and I repeat, I do not want to be on the other side of any table when it comes to divorce with these two legal beagles. All right, everybody, the likes ain't liking. We have a number of you in the chat and viewing. Please hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. Throw us some emojis, red wine, and fire, because that chick is on fire over there in that corner. And get ready, because we're going to come to you shortly to answer your questions. We're also going to introduce a new segment in the show where we're going to, here on the Court of Public Opinion, help you, the viewers, with any of your legal issues that you may be experiencing or have going on in your life. And we're going to use a part of the show to help you navigate or get you to where you need to go with dealing with that. So if you have a speeding ticket, if you have an insurance claim, if you've got hurt on the work or workers' comp, if you have an unrightful termination, whatever it is that you're going through legally, right here in the Court of Public Opinion, we're going to help you navigate it. All right, everybody, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're subscribed, be sure to hit that share button. Don't forget to turn on that notification, because like I said, coming up soon, I'm going to be sharing some information that we all want to know and talk about. And also drop down in these comments and get your questions ready, because I know you got a lot of good questions. Up next, we've never been double booked here in the Court of Public Opinion with our hearings, but today the lovely Kenya Moore has landed 2 hearing times here in the Court of Public Opinion. Kenya is not unknown here at the Court of Public Opinion, but she's back, and she's back with 2 hearings. Up first is Kenya Moore and her child support custody case. Guess what? After all these years, after all these arguments, she's only making $2,000 a month in child support. Attorney Redwine, please break down this child support custody case that Kenya Moore is battling with.
Now, I don't say only. I actually think that's fair and that's likely reasonable. Now, I am based in the state of Texas. State of Texas caps child support whether you make 9 million or 180,000. Your child support is capped at either 20% of your income or $2,300 a month. So the most you can pay in any circumstances is 23. Here, we don't know exactly what he earns. That was not disclosed, but we do know he's a restaurateur. He's self-employed. Ladies, I have a rule. I said, don't you have no baby with no man whose wages are not garnishable. This is why. Okay. What we have now here is it's $2,000 a month. She has primary custody, which means the majority of the time the child is with her. So I think some people are thinking, oh, that seems low because they're looking at her lifestyle, not his. But in most states, whether you work at McDonald's or whatever, even if your partner is a millionaire, you are still expected to contribute 20% of your income.
Okay.
And so that's where we got this here. Now, Attorney Turner, I know you're a parent. So in your view, like, do you feel like perhaps he should have contributed a bit more?
$2,000 a month is consistent with the guidelines here. I mean, we just saw that our poor Ms. Derrico is getting like less than $1,200 for 14 kids. So Kenya's getting $2,000 for one child. So I don't know if anybody's going to be crying for her on the heels of the story we just discussed. The standard, though, as it relates to what the child is accustomed to, it does strike me that it may be low because of what I know about watching the show and the kinds of things that they provide for the child. And so I think he should count himself lucky. Okay. And Kenya should ask for a revisiting of this because unless they agreed that it can't be reopened, she may be able to get more child support later.
Okay, Attorney Redwine, hold on, Redwine. Before you ask that question, help me understand, why has it taken this couple 5 years to get a divorce? The child is still grown.
Because he has been asking for spousal support and for alimony. Now, on his end, what he's been saying and what he's been kind of putting out there in the grapevine is like, hey, this was a marriage of convenience. Kenya came to me and said, look, I'm getting older and I want a baby. I want somebody to marry me just long enough for me to legitimize having this kid. And then after that, you can go on your way. I cannot tell you how many men I know who have dated women in their 40s who are in the situation, including I know of a man who was told by the woman and said, marry me. You only have to stay married with me till the child gets to be like 2 or 3. I'll let you divorce you and I will never put you on child support. Even wrote and had him sign a document and she created a document, had it drafted, I don't know by who. He signed it that said, I will not hold, if you do this, I won't put you on child support. Little did he know that document isn't valid. So he signed it. She took him to child support when that child turned about 5 or 6 and was livid. Okay. And so I say that to say, let's be honest. I think Kenya married that man not because she loved him, not because she thought he was a great person, because she wanted a baby. She got a baby. Now she need to be lucky that she got $2,000 a month.
All right, lady attorneys, hold on 1 second. Let's park it right here just for a second. Now, this is what I want to understand, because when we talk about legalities, we can't overlook the fact, or does it matter? Help me understand. Allegedly, this child does not have her DNA. Is that correct? This child, she simply carried the child, allegedly. We know that it has his DNA, but wasn't the egg donated by someone else and she carried that child?
Probably.
To term?
That's my understanding, but this actually happens to be a topic I know a lot about.
That explains the curl pattern.
You know what? Okay.
Yeah, I'm we need to call it Made Up Friday.
I'm done.
But yeah, but to that point, well, no, but to that point, Al, so what happens is after a certain point, if you have to use in vitro,
yes,
prudent physicians who practice assisted reproductive technology will not use the woman's eggs because of the likelihood of birth defects and it's unsuccessful.
That's
so they
true.
recommend that the woman get an egg donor. That egg is a contracted service.
That's
so
right.
Kenya, to the extent that it was someone else's egg, she contracted to get the egg. It was for her use. It ended up being implanted in her with his sperm because of
That's
in
right.
vitro. She carried the child. It was her child upon delivery, even though it didn't contain her DNA. And so that meant that she didn't have to go and adopt the child, because in the contract she had with the egg donor waived their rights to the child. And so it was Kenya's child. So that's really that's a point for the cookout. When people talk about that baby's hair don't look like her mother's, but it really isn't a point because it's her baby.
All right.
And that's why I say, like, in the end, I believe, to answer your question is why it took so long. I believe part of the reason of his fighting and why he was upset, also why he wanted the quote alimony, is to balance out. He didn't feel he should pay child support when the initial agreement was, I'm going to marry you so you can have this kid that without me you cannot have.
Oh, wow.
One other quick thing to that point, though, from a public policy perspective, the reason those kind of side deals between men and women and contracts don't work is society does not want to be in the business of encouraging men to procreate and then saying they don't have responsibility for the child. And so that's why it didn't work. And to the extent that there's all these older women recruiting these younger men with good sperm to try to get them to have babies with them, I call bull crap on the whole thing, because the men knew what they were getting into. And now that the child is here, they have a responsibility to the child. If they didn't want a responsibility to the child, they should have strapped up and done something to prevent the child from being created.
Come on, fire. Come on, fire. Y'all better put those fire emojis in that chat. Come on, fire, Attorney Turner. I don't want to ever be on the other side of you. All right, Kenya, welcome back to your second hearing here in the Court of Public Opinion. Baby, she thought she had a child custody battle. She's now having a battle to keep her job. She has been suspended until an internal investigation from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, Attorney Redwine, bring us up to speed of what's going on and exactly what does this mean when they're saying it was revenge porn? Because, you know, revenge porn is illegal.
Absolutely. So we've got two issues here: revenge porn, which I'll define real quickly, and secondly, the issue of whether her conduct created a hostile work environment, something that is actionable on behalf of Brittany, who is the talent on the show, and or the network. So here, the revenge porn here, the issue is Kenya is claiming it wasn't revenge porn because it wasn't private. She was given that photo. It had already been up on some site. Now, whether it was OnlyFans or whether it was a Snapchat that she gave to someone, Kenya's claim is that it was not private and that Kenya obtained it from a public entity. If that's true, she's correct. It would not be considered revenge porn. However, yes, that is true. But if it was given to a person, let's say not put on a website, but given to a person. So if the website, for example, is OnlyFans, then Brittany doesn't have a leg to stand on. But if it was given to because the rumor is this. The rumor is that Brittany was messing with Mark, Kenya's husband.
What?
Yes. Now, we do not know if Mark. Yes. So we don't know if Mark is the person whose little thing-a-lang was in the photo that she was, giving her performance on. She was singing to the microphone on. You know what I mean? We don't know that. But Brittany was supposed to be sleeping with Mark. That is part of where the viciousness, allegedly, that's part of why Kenya cared so doggone much. Okay. And then the second component of that is Brittany apparently went to the network and said, this was ridiculous. This was enough, and was threatening legal action with respect to the network if the network did not step in. So now, as I talked about on Monday, whenever those kinds of claims are made, then the next step is that the network has to do an investigation into hostile work environment, revenge porn, these elements, and they have to keep you away from the alleged perpetrator of that environment.
There
Here's
you
the
go.
So Kenya is iced out. They're not, the other cast members right now are not supposed to talk with her, and they cannot film with her until the conclusion of the investigation.
Wow. 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 Okay. Shaitan, Attorney Turner, tell me now, what exactly does this mean? How does this look? What would you be telling your client if Kenya was in fact your client?
Well, if Kenya was my client, and one of the other issues that has come up with this case is Bravo as an employer has not been consistent. And so the allegation is that there was some other revenge porn issue that came up with the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and the person who was engaged in that was not suspended like Kenya. Now, maybe they've learned since then and they've gotten different advice from counsel, but the problem is if you've ever watched Real Housewives of New Jersey, most of the people on that show are white, and so is the person who allegedly did this. And so Kenya's saying, hey, race discrimination, you only care about misdeeds done by Black people, and now you're interfering with my ability to have a check. I have an adverse employment action, and so I'm evaluating whether or not I have my own legal action against Bravo.
Jeez whiz, this is stacked to the top. This is stacked to the top, from revenge porn to racial discrimination to hostile work environment to everybody go to their corner until the investigation is complete. Baby, we gave you a show tonight. Be sure to hit that like button because the likes aren't liking. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, be sure to hit that share button. Don't forget to set your notification because a lot is coming down the pipe that I'll be talking about in the near future. And let's jump into these comments. We're going to go to the comment section, the questions that our jury members have, and then we're going to get to the verdict. First up, I'm going to spell it because I don't want to mispronounce anybody's name. Y'all know I have a speech impediment. Abdashid. How do you say that? Simone, you want to help me?
I'll say Ibdashid.
Okay, Ibdashid. Doesn't he have other kids he has to support? He may not have it.
Oh, I think we're either talking about Mark at that point. I think we were talking about the Derricos.
Okay.
You know what? Great point. You are right. When child support is calculated, though, what they do is they calculate any other kids you were on support for. So if you have people you just have a side agreement and you're not on papers, as I call it, then that actually doesn't help you. But same thing for Mark Ely. I can't remember with Mark. I say Mark Ely. With Mark, Kenya's husband, I don't know if he has older kids, but if he does, those kids would be calculated too, as far as how much he's supposed to pay.
Got it. Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. Good question, Ibdashid. Ibdashid. Sorry if we're mispronouncing your name. I try my best. All right, next up, Rudy Huxtable. Hey, Rudy. Rudy used to work for me and my ex. Hey, Rudy. Love me some Rudy Huxtable. She has become such a powerhouse in this playing field. All right, Rudy says, is his money tied to the LLC or something?
Okay. Oh, can I help? I want to help with this one, and I'm gonna give Miss Turner her chance.
Okay.
Y'all, okay, so a lot of y'all, I know y'all out here probably watching Earn Your Leisure and stuff, and they have those little people that come on there and they're like, get an LLC. It's not going to help you in this instance. I actually tell clients all the time that come to me and say they want an LLC. I say, do you got a baby outside of marriage? And they're always like, yeah. I said, let me tell you, if it's a one-person LLC, meaning you're the only person, it doesn't help. They're actually often, courts will calculate your child support on your gross, not your net, if you have an LLC with no other members. So with his real estate, he does have an LLC, and that's generally what he uses. But in a situation like this, where the LLC is his sole employment, everything that LLC earns is what will be used to calculate child support.
Ah, very good, Attorney Red Wine. Oh my goodness, you two ladies are so smart. All right, PK said, did he talk about TGIF? No, this is the court of public opinion. I appreciate you sending that question in, but no, we will not be talking about TGIF on my YouTube platform regarding in the middle of my show, the court of public opinion. All right, let's keep going. So Ibdashid has another question. She said, wouldn't the kids' money go in a trust? No, not necessarily.
No, not at all. I was a child actress. Not a dime went into a trust the entire time. I started when I was 4 years old. My mom management. The only time it'll go into a trust is generally like if your parents are divorced and the parents go to court to complain about it. If nobody goes to court, nobody complains about it, it goes right to your mama, your daddy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Until you
Kids have
are,
had
until you are.
kids too, and I cash those checks, put them in their college funds. But yeah, they just send them to you.
All right, everybody. We do see your comments, and Shaitan is very apologetic. She's having technical issues. That's why she's going in and out, and it looks like she's disappearing. She promised us here at the Court of Public Opinion that she's gonna work on it. All right, so we see you, and we are dealing with it. All right, Sonny Clark said, "What about the money from the show?" All right, I think we addressed that, right? That money for the show goes directly to the parents. All right, Billy Little, thank you so much. You're so encouraging, Billy. I got to be honest, you're one of the reasons why we keep doing this every single day. We talk about you behind the scenes. Billy Little says the show is Black excellence and one of a kind, showing we can still be educated and tell you about yourselves. Thank you for this platform. Thank you, Billy, for always being supportive. And yes, that's exactly the intention here. You know, us of excellence, I can also be messy and funny as well. Especially with these two ladies tonight. All right, Rudy Huxtable is back. She said, what did she actually do? What did she actually do? Who is that that she's referring to?
I don't know.
If you can.
Kenya. Oh, okay. That's true. Some people are not aware what Kenya did. So allegedly what Kenya did was Kenya was having a grand opening for her hair care launch. At the event, she put on the screen a photo of Britney giving fellatio to someone.
Wow!
Yes.
That's what she did.
It was a party trick.
She was at a party trick.
We better keep it moving. Let's keep it going. Sin870 said Bravo is a hostile environment. I can tell you a little bit about hostile work. If you got time, I got time for you. All right. The JB verse says, how is it possible to file for bankruptcy 5 times? You know,
I got that answer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I said the same thing. I said, what in the hell? So they said filing, but it didn't go through. And remember, they filed for bankruptcy 5 times and had 6 foreclosures. What happens a lot of time is in order to stop a foreclosure, one of the only ways is to file for bankruptcy. So my belief is that they filed in hopes that the filing would stop a foreclosure. And then when that didn't work, they withdrew the bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely right. We know many entertainers use this, especially those that are in music, as well as sports, as well as film and television. All right, let's keep going. All right, Tammy Bowles. There is a producer assigned to each talent. Therefore, they knew and were fully aware of what was going on, just like Phaedra and the Candy allegations. I'm not sure. Sorry, that wasn't a question. I don't know how it ended up in there, but thank you, Tommy Bowles. Not Tammy, but Tommy, right? Tommy. All right. Tina Rowland Jewelry says, Al, what's going on with Fox Soul? I don't know. Did you go over there today and check them out? I know that we are on hiatus right now, so that's as much information as I can give you as what's going on at Fox Soul. All right, seeking greetings. More than 14 kids. Mark has 2 older daughters. Okay, that's not really anything. All right. All right, let's go to Jim Drops. I thought Kenya froze her eggs. Why did she need a donor? Remember, Phaedra dragged her for looking in a catalog.
Her eggs were spoiled.
Yeah,
that's why. They were spoiled rotten. They were not good. You took them out the refrigerator and they said, we can't put this shit in the pan. They tried to scramble it up. These ain't no good.
Simone put them in the trash. about how well egg freezing can go. They don't know till they unthaw them. So
yes, and I'm saying this from the perspective. I'm like going through this. I'm learning about this process as it is. And remember, Ebony K. Williams did it when she was 34. She froze her eggs. All the eggs she had one that was good. All the rest of them were no good. Even Waffle House wouldn't take them. I said, no, we better put this bitch in a dumpster. Okay, she had one good one. And now she's good to go. So I say
I'm not prepared for this Friday night. I'm not prepared. No, you didn't say throw them in the trash can.
Someone I work with says that pregnancy is a function of 2 things. You have an egg issue and a carton issue. So the eggs are what was Kenya's issue. The carton issue is whether the uterus can hold the eggs.
But she had a good carton with a stinky egg.
Exactly.
Order in the court.
Green eggs in hell.
Okay. Ariel, baby, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but have you heard of Mayor Tiffany Henyard? She's stealing taxpayers and use. Okay, sorry, Ariel, we're not familiar.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. I knew something was wrong with that girl when I saw her music video.
Belly B, thank you so much, Belly B. Belly B, thank you so much, Belly B, for that contribution. Just want to say I love you, Al, and I think you're so amazing. I wish you nothing but absolutely the best. Thank you, Belly B, for the support, and I really appreciate it. All right, everybody, last question. Can Bravo, this is from Kendra Jones. Kendra, thank you for the question. Can Bravo just fire Kenya and figure something out on the back end? Oh, this is a good contract question. Simone, you want to? Or Turner?
I would say not unless they want to get sued. The issue is this: they really need to. If I were one of the head general counsels at Bravo, I would have one of my associate attorneys do a memo into how have we treated every other similar situation, and then I want them to put the race of the active parties and the outcome. Because what happens is to prevent a negative ruling on a racism type of lawsuit, you have to show that you treated everybody the same. That's where they may have a challenge.
All right, everybody, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to go to the verdict part of the court of public opinion, in which we're going to review our cases one more time and give them a guilty or not guilty plea. You know, the sad part is I can't find the document because I probably hold on.
He said, "Leave Dr. Seuss out of it."
Probably. It's a fan. I made a fan out of it. All right, first up, everybody, is P. Diddy and Cassie, who ended up in the court of public opinion. Is it looking like P. Diddy is hiding something? Is he guilty or not guilty of hiding information after clearing his social media of every single post? Attorney Turner, what is going on? Is he guilty or not guilty?
Diddy is guilty as hell.
All right, Attorney Simone Redwine, is Diddy guilty or not guilty?
He is guilty, and he might as well just Vaseline up that booty hole.
Woo!
Get ready? Get ready for the jailhouse.
All right. I'm Al Reynolds, and in the court of public opinion, I'm going to find him guilty of erasing his social media to protect himself, but not guilty for being smart because he knows something's coming down the pipe. All right, next up, we have Dublin down with the Derrico. We have Dublin. I can't do ladies' night. No. No more ladies' night.
Anyone?
No more ladies' night. Y'all do too much. All right, Dublin down with the Derricos. What in the Derrico is going? Derricos. What in the Derricos is going on? I don't even know. What do we find them guilty or not guilty of? Attorney Shatan Turner, what do we find them guilty or not guilty of? Are they guilty of being smart as they dissolve this marriage, or are they not guilty for, being in the marriage? What say you?
I'm going to step out of turn. I'm only awarding a guilty verdict for him because he made her life hell, and that's why she wanted out, and now she is free. Hallelujah.
Attorney Redwine, what you got?
Agreed. He's guilty. Send him to child support court.
All right, in the court of public opinion, I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm gonna find both of them guilty of dumbness. And nobody makes 14 kids, 19 years, all these bankruptcies, all these foreclosures. Have a great show. This is an opportunity for everybody to get paid. Stick it out. Get the check. Hate him off the camera, but don't let the check walk out the door. The man ain't got no money. The man ain't got no money. You divorce him, baby, that whole show goes away. Guilty of not being smart is what they both are guilty of. All right, next up, but we do want ladies that are in a very bad, compromising, emotionally strapping marriage to do the right thing for them and their kids. I do want to say that. Okay, so I do apologize. I'm just thinking, ain't no money. Protect your money. Make him get his own house. Have him move out, figure out, move a little bit smarter is all I'm saying. I would never want to go on the record not supporting a woman who's being done wrong by a man. So let me make sure that's clear. All right, next up, Kenya. Is she guilty or not guilty? Is she guilty of revenge porn and showing her behind and getting even because her man did her co-host? Guilty or not guilty, Simone Redwine?
Somebody said rotten eggs is guilty. I'm gonna say she's innocent until proven guilty because I haven't seen this photo. I need to see the photo and I need to see what kind of skill set, like what's her form, what's Brittany's form, like what are we dealing with here? Because it could be complimentary. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Attorney Shatan Turner, is she guilty or not guilty as it relates to? I'm not playing with y'all no more. I've had it.
So actually for this one, I'm going to reserve judgment, say Kenya's not guilty because maybe she didn't do the PowerPoint and she's not the person who put it up there. It was a party. Somebody else may have thought it was funny.
All right, in the court of public opinion, I'm Alan, I'm the judge, and I'm finding Kenya guilty of letting your emotions get in front of that huge check that you got over there at Real Housewives of Atlanta, baby. They brought you back and double paid you to make the show, to bring the excitement back. Now you have jeopardized your bag because somebody told you that your co-host or your cast member is playing with your man. Who cares? You want him out your life. Who cares? Get your check. Now you're on the sideline suspended, and we know you don't get paid unless you're on the episode. Come on, Kenya. I know you, and you're one of the smartest in the game. Let's be smarter, beautiful. All right, Kenya, your second hearing is here in the docket, and it is relating to her child support. Is she guilty or not guilty, Simone Redwine?
I say he is guilty of being kind of broke-ish because he only has to pay $2,000 a month for child support. He got off pretty good.
All right, Attorney Turner.
Yeah, he's guilty all day long. Kenya's not guilty. Kenya got married. She had a baby. They did it together. She has primary legal and physical custody, and he should pay.
All right, this is Al Reynolds, and I'm the judge in the court of public opinion, and I'm going to find Kenya not guilty, not guilty. That's a child that the two of you have decided to create and raise. As a man, you have a responsibility to make sure that that child is provided for. $2,000, if she needs more, you need to figure out where to get it from. That's your child. That's your queen. You made her. All right. All right, everybody. That concludes today's session in the court of public opinion. As always, I appreciate every single one of you and all of your support. Understand that right here in the court of public opinion, we are here to speak into the space of you, the people, and help you with your legal problems. And that's why next week, we're going to incorporate a segment where you, the people, can come to us with your legal issues that you may be experiencing in the process, maybe in the process, and we're going to help you navigate it. As for now, be sure to hit that like button, make those likes like. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to, if you're already subscribed, hit that share button. Also, turn on your notifications. Turn on your notifications. And as always, we love your comments and your questions. All right, everybody, that concludes tonight's show. And court is adjourned. Have a good night.